Ready. Play.
Well, hello there, and welcome to the WTA Power Ranking for Roland Garros 2025. It's a talking tennis tradition. We usually do a power ranking ahead of it, and we are the leading power rankings for the WTA on YouTube. So let's get cracking because we've got a few names to get through. Two honourable mentions who aren't in the top 10, Jessica Pegula and Elena Rybakina. I think that they're players with potential to make an impact on the second week, but they haven't shown it during the clay season so far. What will be interesting is how they both do in Strasbourg, which is underway at time of recording. Rybakina coming through pretty easily today. We'll wait to see how Pegula does tomorrow. Right, top 10 proper. Let's go. Number 10, Marta Kostyuk. Marta's been getting a few decent wins on clay this year, and Aryna Sabalenka will say that she's playing very, very well, having pushed the world number one pretty strongly. Kostyuk is playing really, really good tennis on clay right now. I think that she will be a dangerous draw for pretty much everyone in the French Open, and she's going to be one to watch. So for me, Marta Kostyuk, number 10. Number 9, Madison Keys, Australian Open champion. She's mainly here because of that. She is one of the form players of 2025, but a quarterfinal run in Madrid and a past semi-final at Roland Garros isn't something that should be ignored. Number 8, Sung Chin Wen, the defending Olympic champion, the last person to win a title at Roland Garros, well, the Roland Garros site, as that's where the Olympics was last year, and she suddenly clicked into gear in Rome. Maybe there's glimmers of hope. She's finally beaten Sabalenka, got off a hold in that rivalry, pushed Coco Gauff. You know, her game loves clay with all her heavy topspin strokes. She is a contender at this year's Roland Garros. Number 7, former Roland Garros champion, as she reminds us in Stuttgart, Jelena Ostapenko. Deserves to be in the power rankings just for the Stuttgart title alone. The fact that she's a former champion helps a lot. And she kind of backed this up with a good run to the last 16 in Rome. Ostapenko is a legitimate threat in Paris. Number 6, the real outside contender, Alina Svitolina. Now, Svitolina is actually the tour leader on clay at the moment. She's won 12 matches on European clay. No one else has, unless you count Sabalenka's walkover against Potapova in Stuttgart. But obviously, Svitolina's title in Rouen, deep runs in Madrid and Rome. She's looking really, really good. Again, probably, arguably, has one of the biggest momentums coming into Roland Garros. It's a tournament she's been tipped to win before in her career. Let's see what kind of impact she makes. I think that she could stun some people here at Paris. So we've rattled through 10 to 6 really, really quickly because we're now into the top 5, which is what most of you are here for. And what's interesting about this is that there's reasons not to put any of these top 5 at the number 1 spot in the power rankings, but there's also lots of good reasons too. And there's pros and cons to it. I'm just going to run through them. Let's look at current number 1 seed, Aryna Sabalenka. You know, she's the form player. You have to get through her to win tournaments at the moment. She's regularly reaching finals. Why wouldn't she be the favourite? Well, she's more vulnerable on slower clay. And when you look at her previous results over the last couple of years where she's been at her strongest, it's pretty clear to see that she loses matches she wouldn't normally lose. But at the same time, you have to see that she's someone who will always go at least quarterfinals or semi-finals at Roland Garros. You've got to put it in the mix. Coco Gauff has lost to the Roland Garros champion the last 4 years, be it Krejcikova or Swiatek, who she's played 3 years in a row at Roland Garros now. How many times would she have won Roland Garros if Iga wasn't in the draw? I'd say at least 2. Is this her chance? But you've also got to look at sort of how up and down her form can be and how confidence-based her game is, and it's really unpredictable. You've got Jasmine Paolini, who's coming in effectively on a winning streak after winning Rome and primed, having won probably the tournament's closest in terms of conditions to Roland Garros. But she's literally just caught fire. So we have no idea how long that fire's been burning for. Mira Andreeva, last year's semi-finalist at Roland Garros. Lots of potential. Again, one of the stars of the year, consistently making herself a title contender. 2 quarterfinals, losing both to Coco Gauff, Madrid and Rome on clay. But is she ready yet? And then, of course, there's the Iga Swiatek, 4-time champion. She's going for her 4th in a row. And yet she's only won 6 matches on clay this year and is looking very, very out of form. Which matters more, her Roland Garros history or her form now? Oh, well, I'm going to say what I think here, but it's up to you to decide, because I think if you put any of those 5 players as your number 1 in your own personal power ranking, I find it very difficult to argue against that. But this is where I've landed based on the data that I've put together as to who the most likely is based on who's won previous Roland Garroses. So, here we go. Number 5, Mira Andreeva. I've said all I need to say about her already. She is in form. She is one of the stars of 2025. Her game comes alive on slow clay. She has a lot of potential to win this tournament. Her clay results have been lacking a little bit, and that's what's dragged her down the ranking. Number 4, Jasmine Paolini. Have to put her in the mix here. She's very close behind the top 3. She's been to the Roland Garros final last year. She's got a very, very good chance of getting back there and maybe even going one better. Matchups are possibly the biggest thing for her. Maybe also the fact, again, as I said, she waited until Rome to really catch fire. So that's restricting her ability to really push up the rankings. But Paolini is a contender, make no mistake. Number 3, Iga Swiatek. I know. Who would have thought we'd be putting Iga Swiatek as the 3rd favourite for Roland Garros? This is harkening back to 2021 when it was a debate as to whether Barty or Swiatek or Sabalenka was the favourite. Iga hadn't really grown into herself at that point. Or even 2023 when we were wondering if Sabalenka and Rybakina had caught her. Well, it's very much a mix now. Swiatek has dropped back into the pack and is looking very vulnerable. The thing is, I can't drop it too much lower because her Roland Garros history is setting her on a very high standard. And if she's going to turn it on anywhere, Roland Garros is one of the most likely places it's going to happen. Rome was the other, which is why there's some doubt. But Swiatek has been saying, give her 2 weeks. She builds confidence on the surface. Watch out. Look what happened when she gained in confidence after beating Osaka last year. She's being held back by the data, but there's no reason not to be confident. But we have to favour form more than history right now. Number 2, Coco Gauff. And to be honest, if Coco Gauff had won either of the titles that happened, that she was in the final of, Madrid and Rome, she would be number 1 on the list. I am genuinely thinking it's a case of when, not if, Coco Gauff wins a Roland Garros. Health and fitness permitting. She's definitely a contender. Her base game is so high that she can win playing not her best, and that's heightened on clay. Her game really, really suits the surface with her spin that she can generate on mainly the forehand and her athleticism being able to extend rallies. She is a title contender, but again, there's these things that have happened that have held her back a little bit, which is why, despite reservations about the fact that she is probably more vulnerable at Roland Garros than any other Grand Slam in the year, it's Aryna Sabalenka who's my number 1 in the power ranking. Sabalenka has won Madrid, maybe ran a gas a little bit in Rome, final in Stuttgart, one of the tour leaders on clay wins this year, and let's face it, tour leader in pretty much everything in 2025 so far. Even if she doesn't have a slam yet, I think a Roland Garros title would basically put her very high up the all-time list. It would solidify her legacy as an all-time great, although I think she's already got it. She has to be the favourite because you can count her getting deep in the tournament and being a contender in a way that you maybe can't say with the others. So there you go. Right now, for Roland Garros 2025, Aryna Sabalenka is the favourite. So there you go. That's the list. To recap, number 10, Marta Kostyuk. Number 9, Madison Keys. Number 8, Son Qinwen. Number 7, Yelena Ostapenko. Number 6, Elina Svitolina. Number 5, Mira Andreeva. Number 4, Jasmine Paolini. Number 3, Iga Swiatek. Number 2, Coco Gauff. And number 1, Aryna Sabalenka. It's 3 consecutive slams. She's topped a pre-slam power ranking. Watch out Wimbledon, I guess, but we're not there yet. We're at Roland Garros first, and there's lots of excitement to come at this year's Roland Garros. I'm super excited to see how this WTA draw plays out, and I'm excited to find out what the draw is going to be on Thursday. So check out Talking Tennis's live show. We'll be reacting to everything, and I'll be doing a full breakdown of the draw on WTA Weekly on Saturday. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you again soon. In the meantime, take care and keep talking tennis.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.